This is Murphy's bedroom while she was a little kid. And here it is 25 years later in the same bedroom. Between the two timelines, there is still a strong anomalous force at work. It is sent from another space-time dimension by her father. What if I told you that the message her father sent was only a few minutes apart from the other? Dang! All of this was made possible through the use of the tesseract. So what exactly is it? And why is the space within it shown in this way? Ultimately, how can this chamber become like a time machine? Today we're going to explore just that and beyond. The initial question to be asked here is how Cooper got into the tesseract in the first place. From the film, we know that it is because he intends to enlighten the endurance load so that Dr. Brand can reach Edmunds' planet. So he flings himself and goes directly into the black hole Gargantua. But you might be asking, how could you enter a black hole and emerge alive at the other end? You may have heard that when someone is pulled into a black hole, their body could be stretched to the size of a spaghetti strand. In addition, if you approach the black hole on a normal perpendicular trajectory, your body will split into 2, then 4, 8, 16, and so on. However, because the film indicates that this is a spinning black hole, this phenomenon does not occur. And in principle, you should be able to escape the bifurcation of your body by following a specific trajectory. Now, as we are falling towards the black hole, time for us is going to flow more slowly than the rest of the universe. And once Cooper is inside, time is going to stop flowing for him, according to an outside observer. First and foremost, we must state the obvious. The science of Interstellar encompasses all 4 areas of physics: Newtonian, relativistic, quantum, and quantum gravity. In our current understanding of quantum gravity, our universe is a membrane, or as physicists would like to call it, a brain. This is the place where you, I, and everything else that exists or have existed lay. This brain resides in hyperspace, which is a higher dimensional space. And at this point in time, this notion falls within the educated guesses. This is what the warped brain would look like if viewed from our hyperspace. In reality, black holes are formed of warp space and warp time, which are made of components from the same brain that we're familiar with. As a result, the idea that the singularity leads to a portal which would then enable access to hyperspace is purely speculative. But we're not done yet. Let's pretend that it may happen for the sake of the movie. Through this black hole, Cooper escapes our universe brain and uses it as a bridge into hyperspace, essentially allowing him to enter the tesseract, a region of space-time that extends from the singularity of the black hole into hyperspace. If you don't want to hear the nerdy details of this tesseract, just skip to the next chapter. But if you decide to follow along, here we go. First of all, the back face of the tesseract corresponds with Murphy's bedroom. So everything in her bedroom, including herself, is somehow inside the tesseract's back face. And one particular moment in time could be observed in 6 different viewing angles. It might come from above, while also on the right side simultaneously. The second thing, we see that the bedroom has extrusions all around the tesseract, with 2 directions transverse to Cooper's chamber. Let's look at a specific example to understand this better. Cross-sections through the room that are vertical here travel outward with the passage of time. With the same notion, the cross-sections that are horizontal travel rightward as time passes. Essentially, this cross-section depicts a different viewing angle of Murph's bedroom. Where the 2 extrusions intersect, there is a moment in the bedroom that you could observe its current present, an actual moment of time. This is where the movie defines it as, while extrusions are extending, time is flowing along them. Cooper has the ability to travel faster than the flow of time in the extrusions, allowing him to explore the tesseract complex. In summary, this weird psychedelic vortex was merely our normal spacetime, but with one temporal dimension, or time, manifested as an accessible spatial dimension. In this chamber, Cooper could simply go forward and backward in time, as simple as moving diagonally up and down through the tesseract complex.
You've seen that time is represented here as a physical dimension.
However, there's still one missing puzzle that we need to explore deeper, to have a better understanding of this tesseract. Along the way, we could start asking the question of what happens if you could access a higher hypothetical 4-dimensional hypercube. Wouldn't that imply that we'd have access to something that we wouldn't normally have access to? Let me give you an analogy. Do you know that there's just a small portion of the internet accessible through the open web, in contrast to the deep web? Like, for instance, if you live in Asia but want to access the educational databases that are only available in European universities. You can't simply do that because of GDPR. If you go to the deep web of the same portal page in a European city, then you may be able to access it. But the question becomes, how could you access that hidden layer when you're bound by the 3 spatial dimensions of your current location? This is why we're partnering up with NordVPN for this video. It provides you with access to these hidden layers simply by routing your internet connection through a server in a different country, as if you're virtually traversing to other spatial coordinates on planet Earth, where you could access information that would otherwise be unavailable. Personally, I like it because it's quick, simple, and best of all, it doesn't require me to be tech-savvy. All I need is a desire to visit whatever sites I want while keeping my data safe and secure. For all of us who use the internet on a regular basis, you might find this to be a powerful tool that encrypts your traffic and stops pesky tracking attempts, making it unreadable to anyone who might be trying to snoop. Rest assured, NordVPN is the ideal solution at your fingertips. You could use it on 6 different devices per account. It's perfect for anyone who wants to keep their data safe and secure. So get the exclusive NordVPN deal using my link nordvpn.com/beyondideas. It's risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. It is noted from the movie that the physical objects and fields having 3 spatial dimensions, such as humans, light, and information, cannot move backward in time, from one point in our brain to another. Just like the information about Murph in the past can go to Cooper in the tesseract in the future, but it cannot travel back in time from Cooper to younger Murph. This is due to the fact that the actual warping of space-time prevents it. Cooper in particular will never be able to return back in time and alter anything. However, as we see in the movie, gravitational forces may carry messages into the past. These signals can travel back in time from Cooper to Murph, overcoming the one-way barrier. That's why since the beginning, this movie talks about gravity anomalies. Professor Brand was only able to partially solve this formulation, with all of the answer being located within the black hole.
The equation couldn't reconcile relativity with quantum mechanics. You need more.
If this equation holds true in real life, I'm guessing this is some sort of a boundary layer problem. Remember how in university-level math you had to solve a partial differential equation that required a few boundary layers for the solutions to be established? Cooper sends quantum data from the black hole to Murph, indicating that the solution has been found. It's becoming clearer now. Cooper's existence in the tesseract appears to serve a purpose. Or to put it another way, his mission is predetermined. We can say this because as soon as the quantum data is securely in Murphy's hand, Cooper's mission is finished. The tesseract that has been transporting him across hyperspace is beginning to close. Also, looking from another point of view, why is it that the tesseract only features Murphy's bedroom? Out of all the places in the universe, why does it have to be that specific bedroom? Isn't it obvious that she's been predestined to solve the equation? This is the point at which this movie is supposed to hit you. Cooper across the tesseract sends that NASA's coordinate to younger Murph. They then proceed to the location, where Cooper is briefed about the secret mission. He leaves Earth and travels to a wormhole. Regrettably, he falls into a black hole and finds himself in the tesseract. Finally, he sends the quantum data to older Murph. The entire chain of events is one big predetermined loop. The timeline is there since the beginning. If you think about it, what makes the adult Murph return to the bedroom? Her gut feeling tells her that going back to the childhood room is going to help her solve the gravity equation. But was it all fate? This of course begs the notion of free will in her action. Was it really her who made the split-second decision? Or was it all part of an inextricable chain of events, in which whatever happens must always happen, precisely as it is depicted? So you're mistaken if you assume you could modify something in a timeline that has already been laid out. I believe that Novikov's self-consistency principle underpins the concept of time travel in Interstellar. It says that there's just one self-consistent chronology, with no branching of timelines and no capacity to alter the past. At the end, we discover that there's no definite start point for the loop. It has been continuing ever since creation, and will continue to do so till the universe comes to an end. Every time Cooper appears in the tesseract, he performs the same thing, by encoding the information in the watch and assisting Murph in solving the equation.